Hi. Well, I wanted to do a video on sports, and it's difficult because anytime I try to look up at sports on YouTube, it's so sensitive and temperamental. So it's hard for me even to see what they're about without pressing on what it is. Okay? To be honest. Drew Holiday on the importance of Bucks win. I mean, it's Drew Holiday. Since when do you spell Drew? Drue. Okay, now I haven't done much on sports. I kind of chalked it off, but it's kind of like the same thing with politics and aliens. And it's not, you want to be up on what's going on in sports. I'll link a playlist that I have put together of Mag's work on athletes, okay? Mag has done extensive work on how the basketball is remote controlled. No one leaves with the basketball. There's only a certain amount for the whole season. And there's tons of things about how the basketballs don't leave. Remote controlled. There's no way they make these shots, okay? Also, easier to believe if you're new to this is the golf ball, okay? He's done videos with Tiger Woods and how it's no more than a Holly kid, okay? Now, the sad part about this all is athletes is, you want to, you think, oh, great athletes, but when you find out they're lab babies, I don't know if that offends you because they're messing with the Most High's creation. It doesn't make it fair. So if you grow up and you say, well, I'm going to be a basketball player, and you're competing against people that are either, let's say, it could be a man dressed as a woman, good luck beating them. Or it could be a man that's, let's say, you're a man and you're competing against a man who has jumping ability like a frog. But they don't have superhumans. Mainly what they've been able to do is make people, I think, taller. Things like that. For the most part, it's trickery. They have, it could be like a trampoline under the thing for, let's say, the Globetrotters. But the Globetrotters are not in your sports. And I remember wondering why. Okay, because it's not real. They push agendas on it, like politics, as you see with the taking of the knee and the Black Lives Matter. And now, worse, the vaccine. They're testing and they're going to vaccine anyone who works in the sport industry, just like they do to anyone who works in the service industry. Okay, I was in the food serving industry. So here is a whole section. They have a whole thing on the home page for sports, usually on top. Okay, and before I was introduced to Mag, I didn't follow any of these guys. But when I was a child, we used to go, I loved Barry Sanders, Isaiah Thomas, and that's all I can remember right now. So Kobe Bryant, fake death, tons of just, I don't want to go over his work. And Steph Curry, another puppet, okay? These people that just push, conquer, and divide. So even if you did think you were going to get away and watch a game that's rigged and set up, and you weren't going to gamble on it because it's rigged, you may still end up sitting there arguing and fighting with your friend over which team you like or how it played out or what these people's personal beliefs are. Also, you may get in an argument with your girlfriend because your favorite basketball player is dating a drag. They all have to date men because they have to play homosexual if they want to, be a big star. And they play many roles. So it kind of puts a damper on everything. Also, I'm not sure what kind of brainwash is going on with the sports and how they rate different states. We know we have the different flags for different states, and they stand for different things, right? Who cares? So unfortunately, I can't see what any of these say. And I'm going to show you what happens. Shaquille O'Neal, another huge puppet, calls LeBron is unbeatable Lakers. Interesting how they talk. It's not an actual sentence, right? But here, one puppet putting on another. And they don't have the talent that you think. It's like you pass the ball to LeBron, and they're going to put on the remote. Okay? I've heard them say magnets, but it's remote. And they turn, I don't know if they turn the back on or off or what. LeBron James can't hold tier, like a tier like first tier, talks about Kobe legend. So they're playing, are you more like LeBron or are you more like Kobe? One plays sloppy and one just, gets every shot. Well, what are they really talking about? I mean, it's a rigged game. Okay, so it's a complete brainwash. I mean, you may sit there and laugh if you're into sports at people that are into drama, but looking at this, that's all it is drama, because it's not talent. It's a fake celebration where they're putting on these puppets so you get familiar with their face so they can sell you the vaccine. Or when one of them shows up as into religion, or as, whoever, because they play many different roles, so you'll find that you may be into, or, I love it or you may be attracted to a woman and it may be them, because they will make someone really tall and huge, look small. They can do that. That's not that as difficult as you may think, right? So I'm finding it difficult to want to go into any of these so far. Big time win for the Lake Show. Lakers over Kobe Bryant. I mean, does it upset you when one of your team loses because, you're connected to it because you live there sometimes or somewhere else, and then they code them. Like they had them coded towards Nipsey Hussle's death, or here 113, you're 33, 1-3, it's numerology. 1-3 and 1-3, that's 33. 1-6-3-6 is Mark of the Beast. 336, Freemasonry all day. Okay, orange, 33. It never ends. Okay, Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't play smart against the Lakers. No, he doesn't do anything unless they tell him to do it. Lakers versus Bulls, pre-game live. Okay, the Bulls, the horn, they worship the goat. Okay, Kobe, right? No? NBA, next generation gameplay, all-time Lakers versus all-time. LeBron and Kobe. Kobe's dead. It's got to be LeBron, right? So they're becoming better. All Lakers. So this whole thing's on the Lakers? Oh boy. All focused on LA. Okay? What for? Why? Shaquille. Stephen Smith. Oh, Steph Curry is not Stephen Smith. Shaq. You're 2'8", 88. Okay? This is junk. Just total junk. Now what are we going to get out of this? Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol had an unbreakable bond. E60 or 3 sixes again. Shane Baylor on why he defended Kobe. Defended Kobe. On what? Okay, I'll bite.
I would never call myself a Kobe stopper. I think at my best, I was a human yellow light. Okay, at my best. It's a house of horrors when you got to lace them up against that guy.
It's a house of horrors, he said. It's a house of horrors.
Each other 44 times, right? He won 24 of those battles. Your team won 20 of those
Okay,
battles.
looking gay.
What's your mindset just going into a game?
You know, I'll never forget when the schedule comes out in August, you circle the date where the Lakers come to town and when you go to LA. Because you know those are long nights.
I remember Meg did the video on the cheerleaders. And most of them were drags, but the main thing is that they were getting paid very little money. It was, so that's another thing with sports. There's no women involved in it. So that may be okay, but they have agenda to make you gay. So not okay.
Nights. Those are long nights. I'll just never forget the feeling of driving to Staples Center in LA and just having those butterflies in your stomach because this dude, he was different.
He's in love with them.
And you never knew this was the night he decided, you know what, I'm going to try to embarrass the guy guarding, which I think he tried to do a lot. But of all the things I missed from playing and the emotions, I miss my teammates and winning. But I missed that anxiety I got when I had to stop. Try to stop Kobe.
He certainly took umbrage with anyone that was labeled a quote-unquote Kobe stopper. And it feels like you kind of went out of your way to avoid that particular language. And we're almost kind of like killing him with kindness, right, when you were playing against him.
That was my plan. Look, Kobe...
Yeah, I'm a little confused on what they're talking about, but the basketball players worship the basketball gods. They don't worship the Almighty Father. They worship man, the people that put them on, the elite, the Freemasons, okay? And then it's like these guys worship the sports players, right? So it's a hierarchy of worshiping. Ugh.
Took the smallest slight as motivation. I tried to almost play like Eeyore. And every time, I had a good game against Kobe and he missed a ton of shots, I said, man, he just missed shots. I'm a lucky guy.
Kobe Bryant
he's an old player.
But he's getting nothing easy. How were you able to make everything difficult for him tonight?
Well, it's tough. He's one of the greatest players of all time, and trying to make him work. He's going to score his points. He's that good.
I tried to be as passive and docile to him as possible. And inside, I was a raging bull, and I wanted to beat him more than I wanted to beat anybody. But I never wanted him to see me be aggressive or take that challenge. I thought that was my best way.
Wow. Did he just admit to letting Kobe win? Let's hear what he says of why he did that. He didn't want Kobe to think that he could beat him, even though he could.
Trying to guard him, trying to stop him. And after passing, I had never read his book, Mamba Mentality. And he actually dedicated a page to me, which, gives me goosebumps just thinking about it and talking about that game within the game within the game. And he knew that I was trying to be passive, that I was trying to downplay how bad I wanted to beat him. And it makes that story even better. That he knew that I knew that he knew. And I knew that he knew that I knew. The mental gymnastics that we played. The game
77
of
hoax
there was no here. from a standpoint, but even
What a
higher
faggot.
level thinking.
And
mental game.
sellout.
Was there anyone even remotely close that you had to guard in your
Liar.
career that made you go through all of these things that you were going through to just try to match up with him?
Not on the mental level. Obviously guarded Trace McGrady in his prime and Manu Ginobili, LeBron,
There we
Carmelo
go.
Anthony. I guarded Iverson, all like physically just blew.
Okay, so he guarded Kobe, but he wishes he was Kobe, but he didn't want to make it out like he was. All I got out of that was like as if they were playing a game together and he was letting him win, right? All he cared about is the fact
Unbelievable
that
scores.
the guy knew
Those guys had this. We did, and that
Crazy?
took every ounce of my concentration and my effort and courage really to try to stop him.
How many times did you make him become more inefficient than normally?
You always remember the ones that got away from you. The 50-point games and the opening stuff got Sports Center. But I like to think over the course of my career, I made him work. And if you look at the shot profile that he took, I think it was a little different against me. I did a pretty good job of trying to keep him offline and just make him hit shots. And so he had big games. He had some games where not so great. I'll never forget the game when I played Rockets and the 22-game winning streak. And I knew Kobe was coming to Houston to end the streak. Pau Gasol was out that game, so I'm like, oh Lord, this dude's going to shoot the ball 40 times. And
You're gonna
famous hand in the face game, where I had always done my entire career, but the hand in the face, that's where I gained fame. And Kobe, he let it all out there. I've never been as tired after that game as I was that day. And I think 20-some points, kind of won the game, and that's all I cared about. And so that was one day where the process it worked. I not to get too caught up in the results, but I was happy with the results that day.
The hand in the face was certainly your patented move. How did he react to that the first time you implemented it against him?
Kobe was such an amazing competitor. He did not think that anything could affect him, right? And so I tried to use that against him because, look, I was obviously I was trying to block the vision. But for Kobe, I knew that the only way he could prove that the hand in the face wouldn't work, take more drill jumpers.
Okay, so I got lost there for a minute because it took me a minute to even figure out what they were talking about, right? So he uses the hand in the face to try to, distract him. But in the meantime, he's constantly kissing Kobe's ass and saying what an amazing guy he is. Whereas the truth is, no, it's a rigged game and he has to win. And the ball is remote controlled. Mag has amazing videos where he shows how it's rigged without me pausing and editing, being able to stop and zoom and rewind. I don't see it happening. Tony Allen, a defender tasked with trying to stop Kobe. Okay, another one who's saying he's going to try to stop Kobe. Wow. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless? Is that a name? Reacts to Bucks. Advance. Okay, now, who only knows what they're talking about? But you can guarantee it's not the game. It must be their puppets. It's not even registering. Stephen Max and Dan Orlovsky get fired. Up? Oh, no. Max Kellerman eats crow for his Tom Brady cliff theory. I'll bite. No.
We make insurance for this. When being a fan like to save on auto insurance is easy.
You'll save.
We're made for.
You'll save on auto insurance. Wow, they sell.
Brady has had a full Hall of Fame career in the time since.
Oh, no, you're not going to get away with that. You save auto insurance by going in on it with people. Okay, so on second thought, Max Kellerman, Tom Brady from the Brady Bunch. Here's a story of an ugly lady who is really a man. Okay, Tom Brady has had a full Hall of Fame career in the time since I made the Cliff prediction. Okay, so here's your person who makes predictions. Now, he may have some of the predictions because they gave it to him. But all of it is going to be a Ponzi scheme, people. Don't gamble. Stocks, bonds, Bitcoin, lottery, any gambling, casino, gambling. Better off at your house, your friends.
I made the Cliff prediction. Well done, Max Kellerman. All I gotta say is bet on Brady. I was always taught bet on yourself, also bet on Tom
Unless he was
Brady.
facing Eli Manning, but that's right.
Oh,
That's
okay,
true.
okay. Stay focused. All right,
Rudy, number
what did
3.
Tom prove? Getting this done without Bill Belichick, because that was the storyline heading into the season. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady? And
He proved everything. He proved everything. This was an enormous legacy game. I tried to say beforehand. Brady had the most to gain in these entire playoffs. And he did it. He's going back to the Super Bowl. That's Montana. Montana, who was 4-0.
Okay, so that other guy, Mag's broken down. That's Stephen Smith, right? Stephen for your 33. They got the pause sign in the background for your twin pillars. Number 3 on the guy, Bucks. Bucks for your horns, of course. G for your Freemasonry. And this guy is an actor who plays many roles. And I'm not going to think about it right now.
Bowls, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then, but he has Jerry Rice. He's in a great system. He goes
Well,
to
you
Kansas
got
City
Broward.
for the AFC championship. He did one better. To the NFC, goes the Bucks. Takes him to the Super Bowl by beating Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers on the road. Brees after losing to Brees and his team twice. And Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. And he goes on the road and beats them by outplaying them when it counted. I talked about Aaron Rodgers now. Drew Brees also. Fourth quarter, what's going to happen? Tie game. We know what's going to happen. Brady ain't going to mess it up. It's amazing. He's amazing. When I say he's had a full...
Let's go through the reasons. Either you're gambling on the game, which is a mistake you shouldn't be doing, or you're into the drama, which is fake. You could be mocking yourself or your partner. Or you're tribal and you think your state is better than someone else's state because you live there. Or you think they're talking about you and you're going to use it as some type of therapy, and that will be a mistake as well. And it's kind of like they just blow steam up their ass, right?
Same career since I made the Cliff prediction. I just got to give it up. If from the moment I made the Cliff prediction, 5 seasons, any quarterback who ever lived had a 5-year career and said, okay, I'm going to hang it up, and did what Brady just did. 4 Super Bowl appearances, playing the way he's played, only 1 season really where he wasn't great. He was only okay at the last season in New England, which it does appear now was because of what everyone was saying, lack of weapons. Because when you gave him weapons, he was great.
No. The elite, the people in charge, decide who will be the biggest puppet. Okay, the one who wins. It's not by athletics. Same with the Olympics. He's reading a script.
Prove that not the greatest of all time, fact, I'm better than Aaron Rodgers, which I never thought was the case. If you have the requisite arm strength, then in fact, what it turns out is decision-making and leadership are the most important things to quarterback position. We've seen it with Brady time and again. It was for him to do it with Belichick.
Now, I will admit, you could have an intellectual conversation with your friend about sports if you both were familiar with all the rules and games. You would be able to maybe get to some conclusions using some analogies or parables or metaphors. But why? What would be the point? I mean, chances are by the end you're going to be either gay or something's going to be wrong. You're going to learn to be an asshole. No, seriously. For sure a waste of your money and where you're going to be. And it's all lies. I mean, why would you choose them as a teacher, someone who's lying to you?
I don't care how stacked the Bucs were. He just did it. I stand down.
Freemason.
And the book.
Hand sign goat.
Going to whoops, oops. There's
No need.
I'm just asking. I'm just checking. You
It
sure?
was a solid tweet.
You good? Huh?
It was a solid tweet. A Hall of Fame career since he made the Cliff prediction.
Congratulations. Here's the deal. Belichick, in terms of what Tom Brady has proven,
Black and white
proven
checkerboard.
nothing pertains to Bill Belichick. When we look at
Mask
Bill Belichick,
this guy.
The greatness of Bill Belichick as a coach doesn't compromise Bill Belichick. Tom Brady's ascension to NFC with his 1 year going from New England has nothing against Bill Belichick, coach.
Mhm.
Bill Belichick, GM, incredibly bad. Remind everybody, one of the biggest reasons Tom Brady wanted out, Bill Belichick.
I'm not sure. It might be, I can't really say if, but, the singers lip sing. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are also lip singing. The hair looks fake. It looks like it's spray tanned on. I'm not sure what kind of mask, but if you turn the phone a little sideways, you can tell it's some type of makeup. At the very least, cream, if not most likely silicone, and lots of it. But I won't go there for now. Checkerboard, black and white, and this guy acts so confident, and sometimes he's so outrageous, just acting, okay? He knows it's bullshit.
Bill Belichick wouldn't kiss the ring, but also because he was bereft of talent in New England, and people were like you, and Tom Brady was done, as opposed to appreciating the lack of weapons that he was working with and still managing to get the New England Patriots to the playoffs. And obviously the 3 consecutive Super Bowls in which he won 2. Let's remember that. In the end, what it comes down to is just in recent memory.
Wow, it's such a brainwash. Because even if you can agree with everything they're saying about the game, they can have something happen in the game that's so outrageous, and you could use that in life as a metaphor, because that's the only thing I could see it being used for, because it's rigged. And you could be totally lost. You're going to, deal breaker with your girlfriend because you say, oh, well, LeBron did it, or Belichick, or everyone gets away with it in basketball. Well, do you get away with it when you play basketball? My brother was big into basketball, and they told him that he can't play anymore. That the starting and stopping, it's not good for your heart. They'll tell you anything. They told the smart watch tells you, you should take 1,400 steps a day. And if you do that, you may not be able to walk again. I don't like this. New York, just advertisements, vision.
Recall that had an opportunity to get A.J. Brown or D.A. Metcalf. Belichick drafted N'Keal Harry. Recall that even though we respect the skill set of Sony Michel because he can run with football, no question about that, we forget that Bill Belichick passed up on Lamar Jackson. Michelle, about what the New England Patriots would have looked like this year with Lamar Jackson as their quarterback instead of